So what you're looking at is Xalapa, which is a puzzle game for 1 to 6 players, and it's a game about spatial arrangements. What you're trying to do is fulfill a bunch of challenges by placing these stones on the board. And I kind of want to do this review because, to get to the point, I think this is an excellent game, and not a lot of people seem to own this game or seem to be logging plays on BGG. So to show you how it works, I'm just going to go ahead and play through a round. Now the first challenge is a positional challenge, and it's unique in that it's just one card. Every other challenge is a combination of 2 cards. So this is a challenge, this is a challenge, this is the challenge. You get the point. So this one means you have to have that pattern somewhere on the game board. So let me do that. Next challenge has the Oracle Stone. These tend to make the game a bit easier, and is saying that you have to have exactly this quantity of that activated. So I need to have 1 double line activated. So if I look here, there's some double lines, but I actually have no activated. So I'm going to put this one right here. Now the thing is, at the end of the round, you're going to get -1 point for each of these that you place on the game board. So you really want to be as efficient as possible. So perhaps something like this will be better. But every challenge that you don't complete is going to be worth -3 points. So, it's a bit of a balancing act. Okay, now the next challenge is they don't have an Oracle Stone, and basically means you have an equal quantity of. So I need to have the same number of yellow lines as Gecko activated, and it can be 0, which is great because then you don't get any negative points for the Oracle Stones. So let me look right here. I got 1 yellow line activated, and I don't have any Gecko, so I have to add a Gecko. I can't add a Gecko here because that means I have to add another Gecko. So I'm going to go over here and add that Gecko right there. Okay. Red and cactuses have to be equal. I have 1 red. And I have 1 cactuses. Okay, awesome. This means for every pair you have, you need to have an Oracle Stone on the corner. Now I already have 1 Oracle Stone here, so I need to have another pair somewhere. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to move this Gecko over here. So I'm getting a pair. I'm getting that Gecko that I need for the yellow and the Gecko. And I have 1 and I have 1. And I'm not messing up that. And I'm not messing up that. So I think I'm still good. Okay, this one means you have to have the same quantity of white spaces activated as the ones on the border. So I have 1, 2, 3 activated. And so I have 3 white activated. I need 3 on the border. Okay. Let's see if I can do this without messing anything up. This as a yellow and Gecko, which actually will work. It'll keep me the same number right there. I don't want to add another white because that obviously won't help me. If I add a pair, like over here, then I just have to immediately add another one in the corner. And of course, I can't really add one there because of this. And I'm sorry if I'm going too quickly, but I'm just trying to show you how the puzzle works. And I've played this a few times, so I have a pretty good idea of how to play it. And this means I have to have 3 stones on black. And I have 1 and I have 2. Okay. So I gotta add another stone. So maybe I'll just add right here. Well, I can't do that because that would give me, I would need to add another Gecko, and I don't want to do that. So I can add it here, which I'm doing the exact same thing, which I don't want to do. Plus add it there, I have to find another one on red. So I don't want to do that either. Same situation here, add a double. Well, I could do that. So I can add a double there, which is going to affect that card also. And I'll need to add another one in the corner, but that's okay because that spot's also in the corner. So I think I've actually completed the round. Let me see how I did. I got the 3 there. Awesome. I have 1 double pair. That's good. I have equal number of geckos and yellow lines. I have, oh shoot. No, wait, I'm good. I have 2 yellow lines and 3 geckos. Okay. So I messed up there. And there's a good chance I might have messed up other places, but I just kind of wanted to highlight how the game works. Each challenge in itself is very, very simple. But as you try to complete the challenges in respect to the other challenges, you have something that's quite brain burning and very intense to play. And when you're finished, you say time, you flip this over, and every other player has that much time to finish the round, and then you score. -3 points for each challenge you get wrong, and -1 point for every Oracle Stone that you use in the game. So you only get negative points in this game. and you don't want those because they're negative. Um, and the interesting thing about the time marker is you can actually say done before you're completed. So let's say I was playing around and for some reason I managed to get most of these challenges completed, um, and I know that I'm far ahead. Well, I might say finish because it's going to press the other players for time, and it's a very unlikely chance that they're going to be able to get to the point where I'm at. So yeah, I'll get -3 or -6 points, but they're hopefully are going to get even more negative points. The other thing about putting the time marker is it really makes the game a lot more tense. It really creates pressure because the very nature of this game is when you're playing it, you constantly have the urge to just start moving things around, and you really have to do it. And when you move things around, it's very easy to make a mistake because you're trying to keep track of all these challenges and not mess anything up. Um, your tendency is just to affect one thing at a time, but as you can kind of see when you look at all the different challenges, that's a very tall order, and I like it. I really like this game. And there's basically three reasons why I like the game. The first thing is simple and deep. And I know that's a very cliche thing to say, but you can make the game easier and simpler by increasing and decreasing the number of challenges. You can replace the challenge cards with hard ones and hard ones with super hard ones. Um, and you can make this game uncomfortable to play. What you're looking at is basically level 2, and that's kind of where I keep at when I play the game. There's 5 levels of difficulty in this game, so I don't think many people are going to be able to play this game enough where the decisions become second nature, and that whole idea really doesn't resonate with me as a realistic possibility. The other reason why I really like this game a lot is replayability. So when you think about all these different challenge cards that you have, and there's different size to challenge cards and stuff like that, um, you're not going to have the same round. I mean, it's still going to feel like the same game. It's still a game about spatial arrangements. You're still dealing with the same iconography, but the puzzle is going to change. In addition to that, you have a bunch of unique player board, and there's a flip side variant to this game board. Um, how the variant works is you basically have these number tokens. So let's say I took a 4, and what I'm saying is I'm going to get the first 4 challenges correct. The other challenges, they don't matter. If I get them all correct, I get positive points. If I don't get them correct, I lose negative points. So what it does, it kind of changes the game in a significant way because a lot of times people will intentionally end the round before they have completed the puzzle to put pressure on their opponents. In this variant, you don't want to do that because if you get one wrong, well, you get it all wrong. So you really have to make sure that you complete your puzzle. And I think the variant itself is almost as strong as the base game. So I really like that they included it. The other thing I really like about this game, and sorry if I'm shaking my cell phone too much, um, is that it's newbie friendly. And what I mean by that is the game has built-in handicaps to make it more difficult for one player than the other player. And that's important, especially for a game with spatial arrangements, because the very nature of this game is the player who has played the most, they're going to win, and they're going to win by a fairly comfortable margin. Because of the handicaps, I can proselytize this game. I can introduce it to new players, and I can create an experience that is competitive and challenging for everyone. The other thing that really goes into making a game that's newbie friendly is the game does a very good job at focusing players. A lot of abstract games, you start at point A, you got to get to point Z, but you have really no clue how to do it. And therefore, the decisions kind of seem a bit chaotic. They really don't seem that meaningful. This game, you don't really have that situation because it holds your hand. Like, here's point A, here's point B, here's point C, and then this wonderful puzzle emerges. And when you combine that with a very simple rule set, you have something that's quite intuitive to play. I mean, this game really highlights elegancy. And that's another strong characteristics of this game. So overall, I think this is a tremendously good game. Now, I think some of my admiration for this game probably stems from the fact that I don't play many puzzle games. So this was kind of, you know, it was a different taste. It was a new experience. But I have played games like Ururu, which I think is also called Pelican Cove, and other puzzle games. And something about this just kind of really stands above the rest. And I think it's because of those three reasons. And ultimately, it's fun. I mean, when I'm playing this game, it feels like work. It feels competitive. And I know some people might be like, "It feels like work." Well, that's a pretty shitty way to, describe a game that you like. But that's the type of game that I want to play. I want a challenge. I want something that is brain burning, and this game provides that. And is uncharacteristic because when you look at this game from a distance, you see a very simple rule set. You see a game that doesn't even really take 30 minutes to play, but it feels like a heavy, heavy game. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful filler. And it's very difficult for me to actually criticize this game from a mechanical standpoint. Now, if I had to criticize the game, I don't know. Maybe I could say the chits should have been a bit larger. Not really. There's really not much to criticize with the game. I think the production quality is very good, and I think from a mechanical standpoint, the game is very good. And that's Xalapa. So hopefully that gives you a pretty good understanding how the game plays, and hopefully brings a bit more attention to a game that I think has a larger market than it currently holds. Um, and hopefully this video review wasn't that bad because I'm holding a cell phone and doing exactly what, I probably shouldn't be doing. But anyway, have a good day. That's it.